I have spent my entire life not having a purpose and not knowing what the meaning to life actually is. But in the past couple of years, I've actually discovered what the purpose is and what the meaning is and what gives me purpose. And I do believe I have an objective sense of purpose that is like objectively true about the universe, but also just like a subjective, personal sense of purpose and meaning in my life. And I want to share both of those things today. So, if you're somebody who has no purpose, no meaning in life, you just don't know where you belong, you just feel alone, you're just lost, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what your purpose is, and you just wish life had meaning, you just wish there was a reason why you were put on this earth and there was just a way to enjoy your life. And as somebody who spent their entire life in this trap, this hole of just hating myself and not knowing what my purpose was, what my goals were, what I was here for, what gives me purpose, what gives me meaning. As somebody who lived like that, I want to tell you right now that you, yes, you, no matter who you are, how bad your mental health is, no matter what, you are capable of doing amazing things. I just want to put that out there because it's true. It really is true. You are capable of amazing things in life. And growing up, I was so depressed, so anxious, so lost. I never would have thought that I would accomplish all the things that I've accomplished in the past couple of years. And I'm just so grateful. It didn't just come to me. I mean, for the most part, it didn't just come into my hands, like this sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. It didn't just fly down from the sky. It was a journey of discovering what this was in my life and what my purpose was and what life is all about. Right now, you probably like don't even care if you die. You don't even care if something bad happens to you. If you do care, it's probably because of just one reason or two reasons, but nothing really that great. That's what this generation has come to. I mean, that's what life has come to in this modern era. At least like in third world countries, people have some sense of purpose because they're struggling to live. Not to glorify that, but that's the truth. Here in this modern Western world, we don't really have anything to keep us going. But yeah, I hope by the end of this video I shed some light on what gives purpose in life, objectively and subjectively. And if you don't want to believe in the objective stuff, then that's on you. I'm not gonna force you. You don't have to leave a hate comment. If you don't want to believe in it, don't believe in it. If you're fine with how you are and you're not gonna take somebody's advice, then that's great. That's fine. Believe whatever you want to believe. But also, if you hate your life and you're miserable and you're depressed and you have no purpose and you're just grasping for some kind of truth, some kind of lending hand of help for your mental health, for your spiritual health, for your physical health, then maybe just blindly take my advice because I really do think that it's objectively good and will help you out. Really quickly, if you guys want to join a community of people who are also trying to improve their life and kind of discover meaning and purpose and spirituality and mental health and just growing in all these areas, if you want to surround yourself with people who are like that, then consider joining my Discord link. It is in the description below. Something I like to do with most things in self-improvement is kind of go by the metric of physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. I truly believe most areas of life comes down to, at least the areas of life that you can improve on, I believe come down to those three topics. So they're pretty self-explanatory. I mean, physical health, physically healthy, feeling good in your own body, discipline, all that kind of stuff. Mental health, feeling confident, discipline, willpower, mental strength, mental energy, having energy, just all that kind of stuff. Overcoming trauma, that kind of stuff. Spiritual health, I truly believe, and this is going to put off many people, and I understand. I truly believe is having a relationship with God and following the objective good of the universe, the natural order to the universe, which I think is objective. I think it can't be subjective. And when you believe it's subjective, I think that opens you up to a lot of problems in this life. I know many people aren't going to like that because subjective morality is pretty popular. It's a pretty big thing. It's actually like the majority belief these days. And so I understand if you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? It's stupid. Dislike, click off, leave a hate comment. I understand. I get you. Like, I understand. I was an atheist before. I didn't believe in objective morality for the longest time, and it ruined my freaking life. So I apologize, but I'm going to hold true to these beliefs because it's what saved my life. But anyways, objective morality. Following that is spiritual health, is improving your spiritual health. So, how does this relate to purpose? I believe we have to have purpose physically, mentally, and spiritually. Now, the physical means of purpose is a really easy one. Pushing yourself physically with your physical health. That means getting to the gym, lifting heavy weights, and making that like a priority in your life. Even if you don't want to be a bodybuilder, even if you don't want to be an athlete, just the act of getting addicted to the gym and lifting weights and running and progressively overloading and getting stronger and pushing heavier weights every single week. Just the goal, like, it just feels like a video game. Life feels like a video game when you do that. And if we know anything about video games, it's that making progress, leveling yourself up is addicting. And if you can simulate that in real life, then life kind of has a sense of purpose in it, because you want to keep playing the game, you want to keep pushing for a higher score. And even though this is like a shallow sense of purpose and it's not like anything spiritual or long lasting, this still is a good short-term, like, tangible sense of purpose that you can manifest in your life, literally just by lifting weights, literally just by stepping foot into a gym. So if you've never stepped foot into a gym before, I am going to be making videos, if I haven't already, on how to get into the gym for the first time as somebody who's never been to the gym, because it's kind of a stressful thing. It's kind of like an overwhelming thing to go to the gym when you've never gone before in your life. Just keep delaying gratification, keep doing things that are hard, that feel not pleasurable in the moment, but you know long term are going to make you feel better. So for the mental health portion, I believe having something that gets you out of bed in the morning is very, very, very important. What could that be? I believe finding something that gets you out of bed in the morning is really important. So what could that be? That's something that you have to figure out and journal about and kind of think about. And it might not be an answer you get in one day, but I want you to just imagine what bothers you in this world. What is something that like really gets to you? If you don't know what that is, the best thing you can do is just start doing random, like, out of pocket acts of kindness for people. Slighting random strangers just notes of positivity and encouragement, and helping people, and just being like a good influence in society. I truly believe if you do that, I mean, you just feel so much better inside. Sometime late last year, there was a homeless man that hung out at the same grocery store that I always shopped at. I always felt bad because I never would say hi to him, and I just felt really bad about that. But one day I decided, you know what, I really don't feel like saying hi, I really don't feel like getting out of the car, I just want to go home and make dinner, you know, long day of work. But I decided to just park and go up and talk to him and just listen to his story. Why is he out here? What was it? What happened in his life? You know, does he have a new family? Like, what's going on? Like, I just started talking about some really deep things with this man, and like had a pretty good conversation with somebody who was considered like a disgusting, like, outcast of society. I just remember that being such a meaningful conversation and such a purposeful conversation, let alone helping him, giving him food, you know, hearing his story and just being there for him. Like, that brought a big sense of purpose and meaning, just helping people, just being there for people who need it the most. I ended up preaching the gospel to him, and he started crying and literally like tears going down his face, and I was just praying for him, and I just wanted to be a light. This is a little side tangent that I just want to go on really quick. If you're a Christian and you don't do this kind of stuff, and you're holding back the light that we're supposed to have, you are not following God very well. If you have peace, if you have love, if you have joy, you have contentment, you have innocence, you just like your life, you just feel alive, and you're not sharing that with other people, you're not helping other people, you're not reaching other people, you're not showing the light to those who are in your life, what are you doing? By the way, in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just building a little mining outpost type thing where I can kind of strip mine and just go to do that. Basically, it's just a little build idea I had, so I just wanted to do that over here. But help people gives a great sense of purpose, great sense of meaning in your life. And I'm not saying it like existentially gives you purpose, gives you a reason to keep going, but it makes you feel like you belong. Another thing I want to add too is even if you're an introvert, just having a community, being around people, talking to your neighbors, having deep conversations, that helps you have so much more belonging and purpose in life. Even if we're introverts, we need to be doing this. We need to have people that we can just open up to. A lot of us don't have that, and that's why we're so isolated, so lonely, so negative. Anyways, the spiritual means of having a purpose is, in my opinion, the most important one, and also the most controversial one, so yay. Hopefully people don't hate me too much. I'm pretty sure most people who wouldn't like this advice is already clicked off. Spiritual means of purpose is two things, I believe. Actually, three things. I truly believe having a relationship with God gives you the most sense of purpose you will ever experience in life. Praying, having God at the center, talking to Him. I know a lot of people who are now atheists have told me that, you know, they just don't hear from God. God's not real. He doesn't answer the prayers. You know, He's not a good God. But there's many stories of Christians going to God, opening up to Him and saying, I don't believe you're a good God, you did this, this, and this. And God actually shows His presence to those people when they do that. The truth is, God would rather you cuss Him out and yell at Him, but going to Him and doing that, than going to other people and saying, oh, God isn't real, He does this. But if you go to God, God appreciates that so much more and opens Himself up to you. Again, if you open yourself up to God, God opens Himself up to you. That is how it works. And I know it's not like a binary, transactional thing, but most cases end up this way. When you just have God at the center of your life, life is just so much more meaningful. Because think of life as a kid. Why did you appreciate and enjoy life so much as a kid? Well, you enjoyed it so much because your parents were kind of like the authority over you, and even if they were abusive, even if they were mean, they took care of you, and you knew you were going to be safe. You knew if you had a question, you can get an answer. But no matter what, you knew you were going to be safe. As adults, we don't have that. We have other humans, yes, but they're on the same level as us because, well, we're human. We're adult humans. Even if you go to a therapist, yes, it can be helpful. In most cases, you're just going to somebody who's a human just like you. That's all there is to it. The thing is with having a relationship with God is you know that something is bigger than you, that loves you and has your back and you can trust. And if you put your full trust in, you'll be fine. Yes, bad things might still happen to you, but you know that no matter what, even in death, you're gonna be okay. And that reassurance, that peace, even if it's blind, that peace you feel is like nothing you could ever imagine. Even if this was a fairy tale, which scientifically and historically it's not, even if it was a fairy tale, the peace is just like nothing you could ever feel on earth with any other religion, any other belief, any other rational way of thinking. The other thing spiritually when it comes to purpose is being closer to God. Now, this kind of goes in line with the mental health part, but if you're doing better, if you're pushing yourself, if you're doing the good habits, if you're overcoming your addictions, if you're being better to other people, if you're treating other people better, if you're more loving, if you're more kind, if you just overcome lust and laziness and slothfulness and your coping mechanisms, and you stop idolizing your phone or doom scrolling or eating junk food, if you stop these kind of bad habits and trade them for good habits and improve your life, you are closer to God, but you just have better mental health. You just feel better and you have more sense of purpose. But again, I was on self-improvement. I was in good relationships. I was in friendships. I was in a community. I had good people around me. I was improving my life. I was building muscle. I was eating healthy food. I was even working on stuff that was meaningful to me. I was going to school. I was studying. I still, hear me right here. Please hear me. I was still empty inside, like existentially empty. I was missing something so important and I didn't know what it was. But then I found out that it was God, and when God revealed Himself to me, I just felt so much peace in my existence and who I was. And yes, self-improvement feels good. Yes, you feel better. Yes, you're more confident. Yes, you're objectively, physically better. Spiritually, you're still lacking. Athletes, Actors, celebrities are still lacking something existentially, and the only thing that solves that existential hunger, purpose, is God. And all of a sudden you feel the most sense of purpose you could ever feel doing anything else. Following God, having a relationship with God, it gives that existential purpose that you are looking for your entire life. And then if you're a Christian as well, this is a little bonus thing. If you are a Christian, you do believe in God, you do believe in Jesus, you have a relationship with God, you already have like the easiest explanation for what your purpose is. Serve God and reach other people with God and just live a life of God and tell other people and show other people the light that you're living in. And again, you can be a Christian and not living in the light. You can be a Christian and not having a relationship with God. Many Christians don't. And that's why they're so dead inside. That's why they're so rough to hang out with and deal with, because they're not good people, because they don't have God. And it's even worse. The Bible says it's even worse when you have God and then you lose God and you stop believing in God, or you stop living a life with God. The demons come back 10 times stronger and with more demons. Anyways, with that being said, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please consider subscribing and watching some of my other videos. Finding a purpose is hard, and we all have, I truly believe we all have a work that we're supposed to do in life, and improving yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually will help you find that purpose. I didn't find that purpose laying around doom scrolling, playing video games, eating junk food, hanging out with my friends, being degenerates, partying. I found my purpose because I was close to God, because I was improving my life, because I was working hard, and because I was getting out in the world and doing things and living life. But with that being said, I love you all. I hope this video helped you in some kind of way. And if it did, please consider subscribing. And yeah, I hope the best for you all. And I'll see you all sometime soon.